Yo, it's Ho and a bottle of rum. The joke is that my name is Hannah O'Donnell and therefore my initials are Ho, in case you missed that. Welcome to my channel. So, I don't know about you, but Pirates of the Caribbean did something to my personality, and every time I rewatch it, it just brings back this wash of emotions, and I just fucking love pirates, so long as they're those kinds of pirates, you know, not...
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Those kinds of pirates. So I want to read books about pirates, and I want them to be jaunty, and I want them to have adventures and a laugh, and I don't want them to murder people too much. So gonna be reading some pirate books. That's what this themed vlog is. I'm also going to the aquarium this week, and that was kind of what inspired this. I have, well, middle grade and YA time. Like I said, I don't want I don't want dark pirates. So I have 3 books here of varying familiarity for me. And I'm going to read them over this week, and then I'm going to review them and talk to you about them. And like I said, I've gone for YAs and middle grades because I'm just in the mood for something a bit more light and levity-wise, yo-ho-ho, bottle of rum kind of pirates, as opposed to... I need to stop dwelling on those kinds of pirates because they exist. Slavery is still a thing. But I'm thinking more like buccaneers and adventurers and things like that. So let's go through the 3 books and what I know of them at the beginning. So obviously the first one we have is Vampirates. I have put this in my series that I need to start for 2021, and I think it's also in my middle grades I want to reread, or children's books that I want to reread. Now, Vampirates is a Tempest retelling where you have the twins who get separated. One ends up with your classic pirates and one ends up with vampirates. So there is shenanigans and things like that. I remember really enjoying this book as a kid, but I have the first 3, so I need to get started on these because I bought the pretty shiny copy to replace the copy that I already had, so now it has to be worth the money that I spent on it for more than just looking great on my shelf. So I do remember really enjoying this. I am hyped for it purely because the other middle grades and things that I've read from my childhood recently I have really enjoyed, so it's been a good thing to kind of come back to middle grades that I enjoy, and I'm hoping this one also holds up. So it also means the bar is quite high. Swings and roundabouts on that one, but I'm hyped. The next one is actually Pirates by Celia Reese. I haven't read this, but I have read several other Celia Reese books, and I really enjoy her style of writing. They are very much more the classical type of historical fiction, but they're far more engaging for me because they're YA. I do enjoy historical fiction, but it's a bit hit or miss with me. It depends on what the subgenre of the historical fiction is. If it's adventure, I generally get along with it. If it's romance, I sometimes get along with it. And if it's just straight political, historical, I couldn't give less of a shit. So I'm hoping that this is the definite adventure type, but Celia Reese has a really accessible writing style, and I really enjoy her historical fictions, so giving that one a go. And obviously hyped because it's pirates, not just pirates, but like, you know, Panic at the Disco style pirates, so yeah, hyped for that one as well. And then the last one is Fable. This was gifted to me, but there was no note, so even though I've put like a little thing to say that it was gifted, to remind me that it was gifted, I don't know who this is from, but this is obviously the newest release in comparison. The second book has just come out for this, so I'm debating getting it, but really should read the first one first to make sure I actually like it, because the last 2 books, where I bought the first 2 books of a series then read the first one, didn't like it, so I hauled both of them, and it just seems like a silly waste of money, even though it means that the school around the corner from me gets more books. Great for them, bad for my bank. So yeah, I don't know very much about this. I know vaguely that it's piratey. I think there might also be mermaids, but I'm going into this one as blind as I can do, as opposed to the other 2 where I've either read them before or I'm familiar with the writer. So those are the 3 books. I'm going to be trying to read them as paperbacks and hardbacks, but I do have the audiobook for Vampirates. So if I start to fall behind and it gets to the end of the week and I haven't fucking read anything, we'll at least get one in, which does kind of negate buying the pretty cover if I'm going to listen to it as an audiobook, so I would rather read my pretty copy. But anyway, so those are my 3 books. It's Monday morning. Mondays generally are my busiest day. So whilst I will be doing the live sprints later on today with Ali, I do need to get some work done. So I'm going to go crack on with that. And then when I have time, and I will make time. I will make time. I will make time. I promise. I promise this is not going to be another vlog that I start and that you never see. I'm not going to admit to how many of those there are, but just know there are a few. But anyway, I will catch up with you in a bit. I forget that you're so much younger than me.
I'm not that much younger than you.
I mean, I was starting secondary school and you were 8 years old.
Yeah, but you're not even 30, right?
Soon.
Yeah, so you're like 3-4 years older than me. That's not that much. My husband's 10.
Good morning, it's Tuesday. I filmed a couple of bits yesterday, but I think I'm just going to amalgamate it into a whole thing. But anyway, today we're going to an aquarium. I did actually start one of my reads yesterday, and I'm trying desperately to finish the 2 audiobooks that I've already started so that I can tick off some books this week as well. But we haven't done like a family outing in forever because of lockdown. Obviously, we're trying to be sensible and safe, and I convinced my parents to go to the aquarium with me because I've wanted to go to the aquarium for so long, like years, and I just don't know why I haven't, other than it's like an hour and a half away. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm really excited about it. But reading wise, the pirates will have to pause because my parents apparently aren't interested in reading pirate stories. So the audiobook that I had planned for the drive, we're now not going to do. We're now going to read The Thursday Murder Club as the audiobook. So I'll give you an update on that one as well when we get back. But yeah, I'm excited to do very little reading today, but seeing lots of really cool fish. So here, if I have some, are some clips of that. Okay, so it is last thing on a Friday and I have some books to talk about. I did finish some. I didn't finish the ones that I expected to finish for my vlog, so we're just gonna go through them. So I finished A Burning. I did this as partial audiobook, partial read through. I just wanted to get it finished. This is a contemporary set in India. It looks at poverty, it looks at ambition, and it looks at selfishness, and I will be sharing a review for this very, very soon, but overall I gave it 3 stars. I did finish Vampirates, and I did really enjoy this. It's not as swashbuckly as I was hoping it would be. It does move through the plot very, very quickly. There is no kissing in this. I could have sworn there was smooching in this, but there isn't. However, I did enjoy it enough to buy the rest of the series. So those also arrived today. So obviously we have the second one, which is all blue and interesting. The third one, which is all green and interesting. That if you don't know, it is the captain of the ship. He wears a mask so you don't see how frightening and ugly he is. It just gets more intense, I think, but they also get bigger as they go along, so I will get to these eventually. I probably won't do them as a vlog, I'll probably just add them to TBRs and things, but I am really glad that I bought them again because it was fun. It was fun getting into them. And actually what it kind of reminded me is that I read the book Black Hearts a couple of years ago, which is meant to be like a retelling of Blackbeard, except there are no pirates in it. It's before Blackbeard is a pirate, so it's kind of dull. Whereas this, there's like different types of pirates, there's a look into pirate lore, there's a look into like the different types of I shouldn't be stood over there. There's like a look at like different types of characters, the twins are very different, but they share this like psychic link as well, which is really fun. I've seen a lot of people compare the writing style of this to Derek Landy, who did the Skullduggery series. I would say it is similar, but Derek Landy has a better sense of humour. Like his humour in it is far more sarcastic and far more dry, whereas this one, it kind of has more wholesome moments, and it is probably just as tense. It's not as wild, like buck wild as Skullduggery can be, but it's definitely on par. So if you enjoy the Skullduggery series, you might enjoy this, but it's just like a tamer version of that, because it has magic in it and stuff like that, but it's not like crazy amounts. I did actually see a spoiler when like looking at the new copies for stuff that's going to happen later on in those books, but I don't really care about spoilers. I don't really mind spoilers. That hasn't affected me, but I'm just saying, if you decide to read these series, don't read the blurbs past the first one because it gives the game away. So I got those. Let's go back to my pile. Didn't even start Fable. I was hoping to do this as an audiobook. It's not on Scribd and it's not on Audible, and I just ran out of week. And I don't really want to carry this over to next week because I am going to be in Wales with my fam. So don't really want to take that one with me, so I won't. I am 2/3 of the way through with Witches Steeped in Gold. This is a Caribbean high fantasy about two witches who are trying to overthrow the queen. They have very different personalities, they have very different motives, but fundamentally when you want the same thing, you end up crossing each other's paths. So it's really, really interesting. I like the writing style of this. It's quite an even pace to it. I'm not a massive fan of either of the main characters though, which is hard for me because I do like character-led books. I do prefer Ira to Jasmine. I feel like Ira has a lot more get up and go about her, and she's a very angry character, and I fucking love an angry character usually. I just don't like the fact that she doesn't really think before she acts, and she keeps getting herself in trouble, but I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to spoil it for you. I think generally most of the people that watch these videos and comment on these videos and chat to me would really like this. If you like A Song of Wraiths and Ruin or The Priory of the Orange Tree, get this on your TBR, because if you like those, you will like this. I am doing this one as an audiobook with my fam, so it has nothing to do with pirates. Wasn't the one I wanted to do as an audiobook, but my parents were like, we're going for a 2-hour drive to the aquarium. Let's get on this. And like I said, we're going to Wales next week, so we will finish this then. I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, if you don't like a cozy mystery, like, don't fucking bother. But it's about a whole bunch of old people that basically have this like knitting group, but instead of a knitting group, they solve crimes. And they're used to looking at old murders, except in this one, a murder actually happens on their premises of where they live in this old people's home or community, because they're all rich old people, because of course they're rich old people, and then they are solving the crime. So where we got to, which was like chapter 11, the murder's only just happened. So I really like the structure of it. I like the writing style. Richard Osman has this really fun, very feminine writing style actually. I fully believe the female characters, which is nice. There's no like sexism in it yet, so that's nice. The characters are all kind of tropey, but they're older versions of tropes we know and love, so I like that for the novelty of it, really. That's quite a nice take. And there's another one coming out in October, November time. So for a family drive, it's very nice. Very nice. And then obviously the last one is Pirates by Celia Reese. I'm actually taking a lot more of my time with this one, and I will finish this one. I will carry this over. I haven't finished it, but I am really enjoying it. Like I said before, I really enjoy Celia Reese's style of writing. This one, it's very kind of didactic. She's very telling much the story to you, which I do enjoy. it's far more historical fiction than Swashbuckler as well, which isn't a problem. I'm enjoying it certainly more than I enjoyed Black Hearts, because Black Hearts I thought was shit. At least with this one, there is some action, there is some stuff happening, and it's really, really interesting because it also looks at slavery and slavers' trips and slavers' ships and smugglers and things like that. So it doesn't shy away from the uglier history, which we don't need to delve too deeply into in this vlog, but you fucking know and you can fucking Google it. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, it's actually quite a fun read, but not in the same way that those are like silly reads. This is probably the most serious read I've had all week, except for maybe A Burning, which is super, super serious. If A Burning is a 10 on the serious scale, this is probably like an 8. But I do really, really enjoy it, and I do love a bit of Celia Reese, so I would definitely recommend. Her books are quite hard to find, for, like, as in like new editions. No, like, but charity shops, just go and get yourself one. If you spot a Celia Reese in a charity shop, pick it up because it is worth it. But yeah, overall, pirates wise, like I said, not as swashbuckly as I'd have liked, but I'm not too mad about it. I've had to do more audiobooks than actual paperback reading because I've spent the last 2 days tidying my room. Not that you can tell because this is what you see all of the time, but if I just... You're never going to see my floor like this. Never. It never happens. There's so much floor space, and we have floor space behind me that way as well. I mean, what is that? So yes, my room is nice and tidy, which never happens, but because we have people coming to look at the house, so I haven't had a chance to read. I've been tidying instead. I hope you've enjoyed this. Unfortunately, there are only like 4 of the books that I mentioned that are actually available via Waypoint, so if you do decide to treat yourself, it'll have to be with those, but the actual swashbuckly ones, I can't sell those via Waypoint, so you'll have to swashbuckle elsewhere, I guess. But I hope you've had a lovely week. I am trying to be more consistent with content, but I've just been really, really busy. Really busy. So apologies for that. But I will try and get back on my shit, and I'll see you again very soon. Other than that, have a nice day.